Lottery winners don't lose their fortune to bad luck. They lose it to their own mind, the same mind that panics the second it sees a number bigger than it understands. There's a countdown that starts the moment the check clears, and it ticks louder with every purchase that feels like relief. That same countdown started the last time money landed in your account and vanished before you noticed. You won't hear it, until it's the only thing left. Because here's what actually happens the second that the check clears: the money doesn't change. The person holding it does. And not in the way anyone expects. Wealth built slowly leaves fingerprints. Every year of it, every bill paid late, every risk that didn't pay off, every purchase talked out of at the last second, carves a small groove into how a person thinks. By the time someone becomes wealthy through their own effort, those grooves have become instinct. Nobody taught them restraint. They earned it, one uncomfortable decision at a time. Skip that process, and the mismatch is instant. A person still thinks in the numbers of their old life: rent, groceries, what's left after payday, while their bank account now speaks an entirely different language. That gap doesn't sit quietly. It demands to be closed. So the buying starts. Not because anyone taught them to spend that way, but because spending is the fastest way to make the outside world match the person they don't yet feel like they are. Watch it happen, and the pattern gets almost predictable, which is the disturbing part. The first big purchase feels like a miracle. The fifth feels expected. By the 10th, it barely registers. The brain has already reset what normal means, quietly raising the bar every single time. What once felt like winning the lottery starts to feel like just Tuesday. And before you assume this only applies to people holding millions, watch how the rest of this plays out. Because the same pattern shows up in a $5 impulse buy, not just a $5 million one. Money that's earned gets protected fiercely, because losing it means losing years of effort, not just numbers. Money that arrives free gets treated the opposite way. Easy to lend. Easy to gamble. Easy to walk away from. It never really felt owned in the first place, which is exactly why it's so easy to lose. Jack Whitaker had already built $17 million the hard way, running his own construction company, before winning $314 million more. Real business experience. Real financial discipline. None of it mattered. The scale of the windfall simply outran whatever defenses he'd spent a lifetime building, and within years, the money, his family, and people close to him were gone. He later called it the worst thing that ever happened to him. Bud Post never had those defenses to begin with. $16 million landed on a man who'd never had to say no to anyone with a hand out, and within 3 months, he was $500,000 in debt. A restaurant he didn't need. A plane he couldn't fly. A brother who later hired someone to kill him for the inheritance. The Post wasn't reckless. He was defenseless, trusting people who'd never once had a reason to earn his trust, because until that moment, there'd been nothing worth taking. The numbers agree with the stories, and if you watch them unfold year by year, the pattern is almost eerie. In the first 12 months, large lottery winners looked untouchable. Bankruptcy rates dropped. The cash acted like a shield. But keep the timeline running. By year 3, the shield starts thinning. By year 5, it's gone completely, bankruptcy rates back in line with winners who received almost nothing at all. Not a collapse. A slow leak, dressed up as stability, the whole way down. So the real question was never how much someone won. It was who they were the moment before they won it, because the money never rewrites that person. It just fast-forwards them. Which leaves an uncomfortable thought: if a sudden fortune can't manufacture the mindset to keep it, then the slow years most people are racing to skip past aren't the obstacle to wealth. They're the only part of the process that actually builds it. So here's the question worth sitting with, not tomorrow, but the next time real money lands in your hands. When the moment comes to prove what kind of mind you've built, will it hold, or will it fold, the same way it always has? Money never built a single one of these people. It just revealed them, faster than they were ready for. And when there's nothing underneath, it doesn't matter how much you add on top. That's the part nobody wants to hear. Because it means the real risk was never the money. It was what you thought money would fix. Watch the people who actually keep it. And you'll notice something strange. They weren't chasing money at all. They were building something else first. Something invisible, but impossible to fake. And once you see it, you start noticing how much of your life is aimed at the wrong target. That's what the next video breaks open. The wealthy don't work for money, they work for this. Because when that thing comes first, money stops being fragile. And when it doesn't, no amount is ever enough.